Now Jin Wu finally makes it back to the double dungeon where he first got his powers, right back in this throne room where it all began. But he says, I understand it now. All these statues are just puppets. There's only one being in this room that's radiating mana, so it's you. You're the one in control. And he's talking to the statue that was holding the stone tablet. It smiles, saying, at last, you've made it this far. It spreads its wings into 6 of them, biblical angel type beat. It just breaks the stone tablet like it's nothing. He's like, hold up, didn't those commands have a meaning to them? Yeah, they did, but that doesn't matter now. Now he asks, did you call me? And he says, yes. Jin Wu asks if he's a monster, and he says that's the wrong question. You shouldn't be asking who I am, but who you are. Now this will be your final test, and if you're still standing at the end of it, I'll tell you everything. That's the reward I'll give you, as all the statues start moving. He's like, alright, bet, and goes to summon his gang. We can't have that. This is the final test after all. I only want to test you. I'm not interested in the abilities of your servants. He just took away all of his shadow summonings as all the statues start walking down on him. And now he's blown because all those tricks he had up his sleeve are completely useless now. But he still does have access to his inventory so he can use his blades. One of them charges at him. He just catches the blade and breaks it. He could grab this piece and beam it right back at him. Direct shot. And it like tries to pull it out. He just stomps it in further for good measure. And another one tries to catch him, but he just cuts right through it with his daggers. He acting like he got a Mario star on. The way he just running through these monsters. But the statues even got an archer shooting shit, so he deflects it and breaks it in half. He does his best Blue Lock impression on the remaining piece. And bicycle kicks that shit at him. And Jin Wu's starting to get hype as he goes. He's been waiting for this moment. He's just ramping it up, taking him out even faster. He's just impressed, saying, to come this far with a human body, it really is true. You've grown well. Bro talking like a proud father. The statues are still strong, but he's starting to take care of them. He's like, that's good, but we can't have this end so soon. As the whole ground starts to shake, as the big dog gets up out his chair. He says, now it's time for you to worship God. But he's still just worried about the endless statues on his ass. That's when he notices bro in the background about to shoot them lasers. But it's too late for him to dodge, so he uses his Dominator's touch. He used 2 of the statues as a shield to protect him from this busted shit. And it works for the most part, like he's able to avoid a direct hit. He could tell that even at his current level, that shit could still kill him. So we gotta finish the big guy off first. Speed. I am speed. He goes to blitz towards it. It tries to stomp on him fast as shit. It smiles like he got him, but then he pop out that smoke like Jason. Try to get to him, but he about to shoot that laser shit again. Again, he uses the Dominator's touch, grab onto its shoulder, and pull himself to move even faster. And it works. He avoids getting his shit melted. He's starting to notice that he's still improving during this battle. He feels much faster as he's standing on its shoulder. 1,000 cuts, and tries to take its face off. And all that shit did was scratch it up a bit. He's like, alright, fuck it. If knives won't work, all I need is a little bit of elbow grease. I could tell he broke his jaw in the first punch. And bro's still over here glazing Jin Wu and himself as his creation gets glassed in its shit. This is the power of level 103. Bro got him falling backwards. He just destroyed its whole eye socket as it falls to the ground. When he lands, the rest try and get him. His Dominator's touch has now leveled up to Ruler's authority. He just pins them all to the ground. He's just looking around like, damn, I feel like I've leveled up just over the course of this fight. Buddy's over here just clapping, saying incredible. But Jin Wu wants him to keep his promise and answer his questions. He laughs like, huh? The test isn't over yet. Look, I'm still standing, aren't I? An emergency quest has started. He says, I am the final test, as the system tells him he has 10 minutes to kill him or his heart's gonna stop. He's like, alright bro, who the fuck are you? At least tell me who I'm fighting. He repeats like, bro, I told you that was a dumb question, but I am the creator of the system. Are you satisfied with that answer? Now Wu Jin pulls up outside the double dungeon to go inside and help Jin Wu. The second he gets close to it, he gets this chip. He just stops right in front of it, so his men are asking what's wrong. He's like, bro, y'all don't feel that shit? This cold sensation like a terrible magic storm? Oh nah, fuck this. Are there any other guilds going on raids nearby? Do they got any S-rank hunters with him? And he says, yeah, cause Choi Jong-in and Shahan are about to do something. Hey, make an emergency request. Get both of them niggas over here right now, cause I am not going in this bitch alone. Now Jin Wu's just staring down the Game Master as its 6 wings turn into 6 arms. And bro just disappears. It's right up on Jin Wu like that. He tries to block it, but the nigga got 6 arms. He just overwhelms him. That bro breaking the sound barrier as he sent him crashing into this wall. He coughing up blood like, ah shit. The Game Master not playing, so he gotta move quick. Again, he's just trying to come from every angle and just overwhelm him with force. But he's able to block them all and just stares back at him. He laughs saying, what a surprise. You're exceeding my expectations. But then he just punches him in the face again. Now they on some rock'em sock'em shit. Jin Wu rocks him right back. This shit looks hard. He sent him skidding back across the room. He says, who knew that fights against humans could be so interesting? Not once in my long life did I believe any of y'all could be a worthy opponent. How interesting. As it shows his I don't know what type of face. Jin Wu's kind of relieved because nothing the game master has done so far has been too much for him to handle. He feels like he can do this and says, hey, you still haven't answered any of my questions. Like, why did you design this shit and why am I the chosen player? And what's happening in the real world? He says, oh, you think if you kill me, you won't get your answer. As they run alongside each other. He tries to use his force. He's like, come on, bro, didn't I show you that shit? It just makes this clash of aura. Jin Wu just has less and less options for what attacks he can use. He says, don't worry, whether you kill me or not, the answer you receive has already been predetermined. As he calls for all these swords towards him. Well, not just swords, it's a bunch of different weapons. He says it was all planned from the moment I designed everything. So he's like, how the fuck did you do that? How could you give me this type of power? He says, I didn't choose you, it was the opposite. I was simply the designer of the player leveling system. My plan is perfect. Now, he doesn't have much time left, so he has to just attack him directly. He attacks him first because he wants to fight on a high level with the time they have left. And they are in fact moving at a very high level. The way Jin Wu is dodging, he's starting to feel something. It's like his senses are getting sharper. I can do this. He can see exactly which weapons he's using in each hand. He can just feel his movement. Big dog Jin Wu has entered the flow state. Now he's starting to get nervous, like he's blocking and dodging with his own power. Not just that, he's getting increasingly faster. And then he hacks off one of his arms. He's like, what the fuck? To make me struggle even in this fake body. Ah, I see. That's the reason why he was chosen. There's just a little bit, but I can see it. He has it. You mere human, how dare you? The rest of the statues start getting back up as the time just keeps ticking by. All the ones he took out just keep coming back. But this time he uses his authority directly on the ground to send them all flying with a shockwave. He wastes no time hitting that fancy pants pose. He follows up on the game master with this wild exchange. He cuts off one of his arms, but then he knocks him back. One of the other statues combos him from behind. And he sees that it's this shield one, like, hold the fuck up. Ain't you the one that cut off my leg before? Come here for a second. He makes a point to kill this one. And he turns to the game master and attacks him, causing this big ass explosion. I'm not even sure what he did. He slams him into the ground and the game master says the test is over. I lost. The answers you want are inside you. It will give you the choice. It's to retrieve his stored memories. Of course, he says, yes, I accept. And everything just starts glowing. So Jin Wu defeats the game master and he's about to answer all his questions about the system, but not through a regular conversation, as he says the answers are inside him, his own stored memories, and he has the choice to receive them. So of course he accepts, and everything just starts glowing as bro's looking like he's about to turn into a titan. Then it cuts to him in this spiritual body looking over this big ass army of monsters. Like, big as shit. The amount of them is crazy. So he's trying to figure out what the fuck they're all trying to do, but then he notices that they're all looking in one direction. So he turns to see what it is, and the sky is just purple with like black holes and white gates. The shit looks crazy. But he's like, bro, it's no way I'm on Earth right now. It can't be. And if all these monsters were to come to Earth, the human race wouldn't stand a chance. But they weren't after humans, as it shows the gates in the sky cracking until something finally bursts through them. And it's a bunch of silver soldiers that look like angels with wings. What the fuck? And they're all just flying out of these holes in the sky. And it becomes really clear what's about to go down as one of them blows a horn. It's time for war. And that's exactly what starts to happen. It's a war zone everywhere. But the silver soldiers were stronger and quickly overwhelmed them. So it was clearly going to be their victory. But eventually all these soldiers came to a halt as one man pulls up on the battlefield. Arise. Now Jin Wu's just watching like, hold the fuck up, as he's using the monarch's domain, and of course just turns all the dead soldiers on the battlefield into his men. So this has to be him. This is the Shadow Monarch, and he's reviving these monsters to continue their fight. Now Jin Wu's just amazed at how many he can summon, saying that he's nothing compared to him. But now the one-sided battle has been flipped around completely as the shadow soldiers are putting in work. Like, really, they should have won in a landslide, but the appearance of one man turned the tides of the battle as he cuts through 3 of the soldiers at once. And he's pulling up on his black stallion, and he starts using his force too, and he's just crushing his enemies in the air. And Jin Wu's still just watching in awe because he's really him. And victory seemed clear for the Shadow Monarch and his monsters, but that is until they showed up. And now it cuts to the entrance of the dungeon where they came with backup to help Jin Wu out, and they can just feel the mana surging from inside the room. So they follow in after him, and they're just taken off guard as the whole place is in shambles. But they see the information about the statues was true. The game designer says, what's this? I don't recall inviting any humans here. This is another unexpected surprise. But they're just like, hold up, is this fucking monster talking to us right now? And he says, shh. how dare you disturb the king's slumber? And they're like, king, what are you talking about? And that's when they all notice Jin Wu. But the game maker don't give them no time to think and just slashes through 3 of them at once and says, you strong humans will make excellent first offerings for the king. Now he's still in his memories watching the Shadow Monarch win this battle, but then all of a sudden 2 portals open up and a shit ton more soldiers start coming out of them, led by this nigga. And Jin Wu notices that it's all the clans he beat when going up in the demon's castle. And they pull up deep with this big ass wolf in the back. And again, this one dude with the horns leading them. They all stand before the monarch like they want a box too. Then it cuts back to the hunters in the dungeon going through it. He's telling them to get the hurt people out the way. The statues are still walking down on them. The game master says anyone who's still alive by the time all of my puppets collapse will have the great honor of witnessing the birth of the king. Of course, that's only if you can survive till then. As the big statue charges its eyes, bro, I love that shit. You gotta turn your head. Like, this shit is actually cool as fuck. He's able to weave the blast and shoots a flame arrow at it, but of course it doesn't really do anything. He tells them to try and destroy the rest of them, so Wu Jin goes all out with this punch, and he does land it. The monster just looks at him like the punch didn't do shit. Choi sends some fire to help him get out of there, but that shit doesn't do anything either. None of the hunter's abilities are working on them at all. He's like, fuck it, we don't have any options. All we can do is try to wake up Jin Wu. So Jin Wu's watching the memories of the Shadow Monarch before him. In the real world, he's just standing still in this trance-like state. The rest of the hunters are getting overwhelmed by the statues. They have no choice but to try and wake him up, but Choi Jong-in shoots a fireball at him, and just before it can get there, the game master jumps in the way and blocks it. He runs down on him crazy, saying, how dare you? I'm not gonna lie, he looks cooked. His team got his back and hit him all at once. Sha Heian runs in to try and wake him up, and as she gets closer, it shows that he's still watching the battle unfold. The Shadow Army slowly overwhelms the monsters and clan. He's like, hold up, the monarch's not on the same side as the monsters? Or maybe there was some kind of internal conflict? He's still just amazed watching him because his soldiers do get destroyed, but it's like his mana never runs out. They just keep regenerating over and over and over. Eventually they do win the battle. So the monarch confronts the one that led them out the portal and says, we had a chance to end this war today, so why did you betray me? He's just like, damn, I could have killed your ass. Again, come on. Why did you betray me? He just laughs and speaks in a language we can't understand. After he says one more thing, he uses his Dominator's touch to pull him in. He's holding him by the throat, so he's about to kill him. It shows him like crushing his head, but he doesn't actually do it. He just lets him go, so he falls to the ground. He takes off his helmet, reveal that it's Baron, the Demon King. Jin Wu immediately recognizes him, but then he's like, wait a minute. Like, you see how the perspective shifted? Now it's him in the monarch's place, so he's just kind of confused, but then it shows something glowing beating in his chest. It's like a second black heart next to his original. After he gets this, he turns around, sees just a bunch more of the silver soldiers looking right at him, and the system says the playback of memories has ended. The game master over here just talking shit to Sha Heian, calling her amusing and telling her to try harder to break his system. She uses her sword dance and he's like, yeah, just like that, as he blocks her attacks and slashes through her fucking shoulder. He's like, damn, is that all you got? You humans never fail to disappoint. My design predicts and responds to any result, so these small attacks have no chance at breaking my system. You must create noticeable results. As he's talking, he gets hit in the head with a fireball. He's like, bro, we gotta wake up Jin Wu. There's no other chance. We can't fuck with this guy. She goes all out to sprint for him. Bro sat up in his gaming chair. She was able to dodge it. Good, but he's still just fast as shit. He gives her praise for being able to dodge, but as he's looking at her, he notices a little shadow connected to her. It can't come out because of the rules of the room, but she's a human and the king assigned her a soldier. How did you guys find this place? And what exactly is your relationship with Sung Jin Wu? She says we're friends and we're here to save his ass. He's like, fine, I'll give you guys a chance. Today, one of the great monarchs is going to descend on the world, and I will allow you to witness this glorious sight. Everybody else, they're all gonna die where they stand. But someone says, according to who? God damn, he really broke the jaw. What the fuck? He says, you. What in the world did you do to my body? And everybody just takes a sigh of relief, like, yes, we're saved. Jin Wu's back. And he really putting his foot on his neck. He's like, bro, how? You're not the king. How are you doing this? Or are you taking the place of the king? And how can you maintain your ego with a black heart? He's thinking, oh, is that where this incredible magic comes from? As it says, this power has acknowledged him as its owner. He can tell from his reaction that he didn't mean for this to happen, that this black heart isn't supposed to make me stronger. Hey, it is what it is now, and he still has questions for him. You said you were opposed to making me a player, right? What exactly is a player like? What were your intentions? He's just like, no, the Shadow Monarch, you can't. He's yelling, you think the other monarchs are just gonna stand by and watch? But we don't know what he's talking about, so Jin Wu just summons a bunch of blades, holds them over him like, bro, just answer my questions. But he's like, nah, it wasn't supposed to turn out this way. I think I know why you were chosen. And everybody starts to notice the rest of the statues start moving around. But Jin Wu's like, yeah, I thought about that too. I said I would devour the system and use it for myself. It seems your design had flaws. And he says, no, you. But Jin Wu just dices him to pieces. This shit is so cold. He starts talking about a prophecy. When the pillars of fire are built to uphold the heavens, an inevitable death shall find you. He just looks back like, yeah, of course.